Sometimes, if you listen really hard, you can almost hear it.
Our first ever instant star is...
You're it, girl. You're the real thing.
That moment your life changes.
It's about a girl who is just about to fly off and see the world.
Forever.
Jude Harrison!
Hello and welcome to The Breakdown, an Instant Star Rewatch podcast. Today we are recapping the first Instant Star mini called If I Should Stay. So for context, from season 3 onwards, mini episodes were published on, I think it was the N website, and each mini would correlate with a particular episode. So I think for season 3 there were 12 minis. And we're recapping the first one today. So the description of the first mini, If I Should Stay, is that Tommy shows Jude how to find her everything. So we see Jude at the rehearsal space and she's fretting about this new song that she's writing. And she says a song is only meant to be about one thing. And Tommy reminds her that she just needs to let the song be everything. And they go to the piano and they perform the song, which is If I Should Stay, that we hear in episode 1 of season 3. And as the camera spins or moves around the piano player changes from Tommy to Jamie to Speed and then back to Tommy. And she says at the end that a little bit of everything was going through her head. Let's talk about it. I mean, it pretty much sums up the whole of the first episode, that's for sure.
Yes.
I think that... well, first things first, I love it during the mini where the piano pauses and Jude sings the lyric, A Familiar Look, and her and Tommy have a familiar look between the two of them. It's just such a perfect... But what did you think of the first mini? Do you like the fact that they're doing minis now? I personally love it.
I did. I really liked the minis. Because if I remember right, I'm trying to remember. Because the mini started my senior year. God, that seems like forever ago.
Don't think about it.
So I think the show came on, if I remember right, Degrassi came on at 8, Instant Star came on at 9, and then at 10, both Degrassi and Instant Star minis came out. If I just remembered almost 20 years ago on a time schedule, I would be amazed. But it was like, and yes, I was that one at home. I was that girl at home as a senior on Friday night watching Degrassi and Instant Star. But I mean, I thought it was cool because it was something that, I mean, like this one, you got to see like a little bit of, I guess, a music video to the episode, and then there's some that are completely like what ifs or have nothing to do with the episode.
Yeah, I feel like they always somehow provide a bit of extra context somehow. Yeah. Did you have a funny moment or a moment that you loved?
The familiar look. I'm just like, out of all the guys, only Tommy got the familiar look. And I was just like, so much toxicity, but oh my gosh, my leadership will hurt.
Yep. 100%.
I'm like, I can still ship you guys and still realize all the red flags.
Yep. Yeah, that was my favourite bit. And I liked at the beginning where Tommy said, "Are we just going to stare at each other all day?" I was like, yeah, you could.
Yeah, I mean, that works. I guess a funny moment for me, I was like, why is Speederman even in this?
I
'Cause
know.
I'm like, he doesn't. Jamie, after watching the episode, I could see why Jamie was in it because Jamie had a lot to do with her growing up.
And continues to as well.
Yes, Speederman. I mean, I guess it goes back to what Steven was saying about how there's a reason for everything in Jude's life,
Mm-hmm.
including her romantic partners.
Yep.
But I'm still just like, I don't get why you included Speederman in the.
And also, Shay was missing.
Yes,
He's
Shay
just not
was.
important enough.
Yes.
What I found really funny is the camera never leaves Alex or Jude. So it's done in one take. So I feel like when the piano was out of shot, the guys were going to have to be switching seats because
Yeah, they were like running in.
I just found that hilarious. I could just imagine them in the background, just like quick getting up and changing seats.
Yeah.
So funny. What do you think it means for the episode? Obviously, like you said, it's more of just a music video or an additional performance of the song. But I thought that it shows that the song isn't just about Tommy, it's about Jude's mindset at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's meant to convey that she's just this episode, but also this season, she's processing a lot and she is growing and changing.
Yeah.
That's what I thought the mini was meant to convey.
That's what I thought, and I think that it means and it goes back to what I said about why is Speederman in it. Because like right now, like in episode 301, we don't, except for Speed kind of coming down on her about the whole karma thing, we don't see a lot of Speed and Jude, but we know that later on that Speederman and Jude do rely a lot on each other as friends. And so he is a part of that everything in a love connection that Stephen was talking to us about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, I mean, you can love somebody without being in love with them.
Yeah. And they do remain friends, and we always said they were better as friends.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think it's meant to show that, yes, he's her ex, and it is kind of showing her exes, apart from Shay, who doesn't matter. But the people that it shows, the three guys, they're more to her than just her exes in different ways. Yeah. And they're all part of her growth in different ways.
Well, and if you think about it too, I mean, if you think about your romantic history,
Lol.
I mean, nobody really wants to, but if you think about it, you have that ex that was just an ex, and okay, you have your Shay. Your ex is your ex, and that's it. You have your ex that you become friends with, and you're better off as friends. You have your ex that is your brother, and then you have your Tommy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, everybody in their own way has a Tommy, Jamie, and Speed.
Yep. And a Shay, which means he doesn't get included. I just love that they didn't include him.
I mean, when I think of Shay, I think of high school.
Yeah, like Shay wasn't, he didn't contribute anything to Jude's growth or transformation. He was just a red flag, walking red flag. And that's, I mean, I feel like he probably wasn't included because the actor wasn't available or something. But
Yeah.
on a deeper level, I really think that he didn't contribute anything to Jude.
Right.
He left and, Tommy, big impact. Jamie, big impact in a different way. And even Speed, they're bandmates, they're friends, they're like brother and sister. So all of those two people have impacted Jude in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And continue to as the episodes go on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. I think that in 3.5 minutes they conveyed a lot by not really saying anything.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, if you think about it, Tommy, Jamie, and Speed are probably gonna be in and out of her life for a long time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Speed, we don't know what really happened with her and Speed when she went to London. Because
Spoiler.
yeah, spoiler. But we don't, I mean, we know he was doing his solo thing, so we can guess Sesame at some point hooked back up with her. Jamie is her best friend.
Yeah.
So we can guess at some point she went home or he came over to see her. And at some point the dust settled between her and Tommy, and again, they either got their shit together, which now in my 30s I kinda hope they didn't. Like my shipper heart hopes they did. But in my 30s, I'm like,
I
I don't
feel
know.
like by the time we wrap up both, can't get my words out. By the time we wrap up the whole podcast and finish Instant Star, we need to do a deep dive on Jude and Tommy and the impact that Tommy has had on Jude in the 4 seasons. Because
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of juicy stuff we could dig into. Not just the fact that there's red flags, but the impact, like musically and mentor wise and everything. So I think that would be worth doing at some point.
yes. We are
Right.
doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, we at least in my canon, they saw each other a few, like frequently, either through Sadie, because in my head canon, Sadie is what Dea is, and Dea and Tommy are best friends, brothers, whatever they are. So, I mean, they saw each other. So those guys, Speederman, Jamie, and Tommy, were still in Jude's life.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not just gonna like be able to say, "Peace out, see ya."
Yeah, those guys will always be in her life in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. I love the minis. I just feel like they just add extra depth to each episode. Some of them are silly, like we're coming up for some silly ones soon, but some of them are really impactful and give you extra information that you didn't get in the episode. And I'm interested to see how we break them down.
Yes.
But that was our mini recap, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Breakdown, an Instant Star Rewatch podcast. The Breakdown was produced by me, Chloe, and Neon Network Production. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and listen to all episodes of The Breakdown on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. See you next time.